Alright, let's pull the intake. And we'll pull heads and cylinders. Not used to using this this table. With a camera pointed at it. This sucker got hot. You can smell the oil, and I'll show you the head bolts, how discolored they are. I mean, it's not unusual to be a little off, but man, these things are just absolutely just cooked. It hasn't melted, which we've seen that on a few of them where they melt, but not here. Still not seeing any metal chips. Oh, that one was kind of loose. That one was really loose. So was that one. Ooh, that one's very loose. Well, we got loose head bolts. If it got extremely hot, the other thing I'm not hearing is that normal pop you hear when they break loose. It's entirely possible this engine got hot enough, maybe stretched studs or something, but he doesn't have any head gasket leaks or anything. Oh, there we go. head gasket leaks. I'm going to flip these over and show you guys the heads here in a second. Just let me get them off. Oh, no head gasket leaks. Alright. A terrible amount of carbon buildup. Oh, there's a lot of carbon on the rear though. Let's see what we've got. Head gasket. You can see the carbon in the gasket though. I mean this, yeah, tremendous amount of carbon buildup for sure. The gasket came off with the other one. Well, the skirt's not broken. Yep, skirt's not broken. I want to protect this piston at the very least. Oh, the cylinder is horrible on the inside. Still no metal shavings, but you can see how hot this thing got. I'm gonna see if I can get it in the camera. Oh, wow. All right, you can see at the bottom. Let me step around and see on the camera here if I can see it. Look in this area here. You see that large, dark area? Flip it around, see if maybe it'll be easier to see it this way. I think you guys can see that. It's right in the middle of the bore, this whole area here. All right, it's completely glazed in the middle. It's gold in color. So the owner was exactly right. Just like I told you guys, I couldn't be any more serious. You know your bike better than I do. You ride it every day. And it's up to me to make sure there's no issues to justify the noise. But the owner was right. This thing had to have gotten extremely hot. Let me try this one more time. I'm sure you can see the gold color to the cylinders. And that big dark area right in the middle. Front cylinder was hot. Hot, hot, hot. Make some room over here. Front cylinder. And then we'll take a close look at the piston here in a second. Wow, the carbon buildup. Let me see if I can, and it's just absolutely flaking off. Let's see. There, and then top of the other one. You can be on camera, Dick. Everybody'd love to see your smiling face.
No, I'm just watching. Being amazed.
The cylinder liners are gold. Ooh, wow. All right, the rear cylinder, let me just show you here. It's nowhere near as bad as the front, but you can still see that extreme gold color, gold tint to it. This sucker got hot. Hot, hot, hot. course, we've got all the carbon buildup there. The skirts don't look terrible. All right. I don't see any metal. Let's check this. I don't see any cracks or any signs of cracks in the cylinders. Nothing there. Okay, well, wow. And I don't see any metal down in there either. Of course, there could be some in the very bottom of the case. All right, so I think what I want to do now, I'm going to pull the piston oilers, see if I can pull those. And I can't find any metal in this thing other than the lifter bores, lifter galleys. And I don't see, are you listening, Guy? I don't see how that filter and the pump and the cam plate isn't just completely crammed full of crap.
I know, that's what freaks me out. It's like it's just isolated to one.
I don't see there's nothing wrong with the piston skirts. There's not other than, oh, look at the front cylinder.
No signs of it peeling up or anything.
Look on the front cylinder though. Look how hot that sucker got.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's a Goldie.
I wonder if YouTube will censor
Oh, I'm sorry.
I wonder if it'll.
Oh gosh.
Wait a minute, and you be the beep.
Yeah, be the beep.
Oh. Okay, there we go. Look at that. It's cooked.
That's nasty. Yeah.
I mean, it's cooked. I don't know how this thing wasn't blowing oil everywhere. See what I'm talking about? You can take the cylinder. Just like that big big. What I want to do, I want to pull the piston oilers because I'd be willing to bet the reason that cylinder got so dang hot.
So hot because the piston oil was
clogged. The piston oilers clogged up.
I'll bet you it is.
All right, so again, contest time. We've gotten this far. Guesses. You get a free t-shirt or you get a timer cover, Skunk Works timer cover, thanks to Cobalt Cycles. So let's pull the piston. I think I can get to the piston oiler.
I have a magic tool.
You got a magic? Oh, I don't want to hear about that.
Want to see my magic tool?
No, I do not want to see your magic tool. But I will say this. If your magic tool is about the size of a T20, I wouldn't be showing it to anybody.
Well, you can't have everything.
You've always been right.
Not a bit. Hey, if you can't have fun, don't go to work.
There you go.
All right, so I want to pull a piston oiler. See where we are. Man, I know what the issue is. I know exactly what it is, and man, if that ain't some bad quality control. And I'll just leave it at that. See if we can get in there. It's a nice little magic tool.
It is magic.
You can do magic. Okay, well, first off, now this is a very common issue with the M8s. You guys may have seen this. The screws are slightly too long from the factory in the piston oilers, which allows piston oilers to leak, which will fill up the sump and is a large part of the reason why these things blow oil out the breathers. So anytime you pull a top end off one of these things, you really need to check the screws on the piston oilers, because this one was extremely loose. And yeah, I don't want to pull this thing's going to have to be bored and honed anyway, because I'm not even going to worry about the pistons. I could get them out of the way. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just... No, it came with a free rubber band, did you? I'm going to bet behind this piston oiler we have got metal piled. Oh yeah, this screw, I barely even turned it, guys, and it's loose. Dick, would you mind doing me a favor? If you look over there on the hydraulic press, the big blue thing, it's over there. On the left-hand side, the leg, you'll see a little magnet hanging there. Yes, sir. Because I don't want to drop it. We're splitting the cases anyway, it doesn't matter. But if you wouldn't mind, stand right there, extend that magnet out, and you can see where my little tool is right here. Can you see that in there? I just want to catch. Yeah, no, I don't have it all the way out yet, but it's going to be out here in a second. It's loose, it should come on out of there. I mean, really, I could pull pistons and everything else for just the sake of the video. I'm just trying to get down to this point. Oh, it's still in there. Nope. Let me see if I can get in there with my fingers. Hang on. Or let me just, like I said, I can get enough of a bite on it to finish threading it out of there. Now, as loose as that screw is, I might be able to just thread it with this. It's not quite that loose yet. Rod and the piston right out of the way, I'd have it. I bet you there is metal piled all behind this thing. That would explain the heat. don't want to come out. There we go. Thanks, sir. You get your nitrogen filled up in the Corvette?
Yeah, we did, thank you.
Good. We are good for something around here.
It's just that left rear.
As a side note, Dick here is the proud owner of that Goldwood Yellow 65 Corvette convertible that we did the paint restoration on. And he's got another Corvette with another Corvette on the way. So we're doing a campaign, sell the 65 to get the new one. So. All right, I need that magnet again. Oh, it's about to drop. I'll put it right there. It's right in front of my face. I don't want the piston oil to drop either. And I want to try to catch any metal that comes out of it at the same time. Can you, I'm in such a position because I'm trying to, can you see where I've got it held in my finger.
Yeah, I can see it.
Hang on, let's see, don't shake anything. Let me see if the oiler, no, oil's gonna, don't move. Yep, let's don't move. I just don't want the oiler to drop. There we go. All right. Well, there's no question the oiler was leaking. No question at all. It's just, yeah. Which we knew that, and the screws were loose. Thank you, sir. Let's see if we got. If I can get my finger in there. Oh, yeah. Yep. So the port for the piston oiler, full of shavings too. Oh, there's a, that may have just been where I pulled it out of there. I don't see any more metal in there. Okay, here's the skinny. From this point down, you've got the case. You know, the bearing doesn't feel crazy loose. Everything from here down is the case itself, and the crank. The case is the only thing that's aluminum. The rods and the crank is obviously steel. So I'm going to call it. Here's the deal. During the manufacturing process, it seems that this case wasn't cleaned out all the way. I believe that the banging noise that he was hearing was during its first, could have been few minutes or few hours of operation. The machining bits and pieces and slivers were actually crammed up here into the lifter area. And oil pressure packing it in clogged that lifter, probably the other lifters too at some point, and impeded the flow of oil to the lifters, which would intermittently create a banging noise. The lifter's not being pumped up. Somehow that never made it to the top end unless it's been flushed. We've got to remember this thing's never been into, and it's been operated this way for 30,000 miles. I don't see any clearance issue anywhere or accelerated wear in this thing anywhere at all that would produce the amount of metal that we got out of it. It would be obvious. There would be wear marks everywhere. The only thing left is that was from the original machining process when the engine was manufactured back in 2017. That's the only thing that makes sense. And obviously it must have been just focused in this area here, or it would have circulated through the pump, through the cam plate, through the filter. So that's the only thing that it can be. So I'm calling it that. So what this means now for this customer, this started day one, and he's had this problem ever since. I cannot believe it didn't massively destruct the inside of this engine. But again, I believe it was just concentrated here. That also would have plugged up the piston oilers, which obviously overheated the engine, running extremely hot. So what we're going to have to do from this point on, we're going to have to split the cases, clean everything completely, measure everything. The rods feel fine. I haven't rotated it over. They don't, no real major cause from concern. Of course, we're going to check that. So it's going to be split the cases, clean everything out really well, measure everything. I am going to recommend putting, since I can't open up that cam plate and see anything in it, then I'm going to recommend a cam plate and an oil pump, and obviously fix the piston oilers, clean this thing out, bore and hone cylinders 10 thou over, and put a new set of pistons in it, and because it's glazed so bad, and then put her back together, and that's going to be the fix. Now, I did tell you I was going to show you the heads. Let's take a look. All right. So, not unusual. You can see it's definitely gotten hot in there. And wow, there's a tremendous amount of carbon buildup in here. And you can even see here how much oil it actually was burping into the intake here, and how varnished it is, showing how hot this head was getting, and then of course the gold color there. So I'm not going to bore you guys with all of that stuff and pulling down heads and all that. I don't think it's really necessary to show that on the video, but I will, because it did get so hot. We're going to tear the head down. We're going to check valve to valve guide clearances, decarbon the whole thing, clean everything up, measure those clearances. I'm also going to check the springs. If they got hot, it can change the load on the spring. So we're going to check all of that. Then those heads will be remanded and put back together. Again, the bottom end, split the cases, clean everything out, check the crank, put her back together, 10 thou over on cylinders and pistons, and put this thing back together. Now, a little twist. Fortunately, the gentleman that owns this bike does have an extended warranty. In this case, his extended warranty certainly paid off. And we do extended warranty work, obviously, Harley Davidson extended warranty stuff. So that's great for this customer. And we're just going to put it back together after we clean everything up. Cam plate, oil pump, tappet cuffs, new lifters, because there could be trash there, address the piston oilers, and go from there. So guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks a lot for coming along for the ride. I was expecting to find far worse than we did. And quite frankly, I'm beyond disappointed to find that it just comes down to machining trash from the original manufacturer. So anyway, guys, thanks a million. We appreciate what you do. If you're interested in membership, you will find a link in the bottom. You also find a link for the bolsters that came to us from Dewey Did It. Thank you very much. Don't forget about the contest. Comment, get you a t-shirt or a timer cover. Take your pick. Those came to us from Cobalt Cycles. Thank you very much, guys. And on the next video in the M8 versus Twin Cam series, we will be disassembling a Twin Cam for our channel members, Dorothy and Daryl. We're doing a Skunkworks 107 for those guys, and they're just wonderful, wonderful people. So I know they're excited to see the teardown of their engine and what kind of interesting things we're going to find inside there. You guys take care of yourselves and each other. Have a good one.